welcome to D's 20 Stitches. I'm D. My pronouns are they and he. I'm a trans cross-stitch designer, stitcher, crafter, educator, all of the above. Hello, it's July. I am 1 month into my summer vacation. A lot of things have happened. And we'll talk about this later. I'm going to get annoying with it later. But I know you're here for some cross stitch. So let's do that first. I've had lots of time. I've had lots of time to stitch. One would say too much time to stitch. So I've got 2 finishes. I've started 2 new projects. I've got great whips. Look at this. It's just overflowing. So let's do it. Let's do it. I think the first thing we should get into is Stitch for Pride. So there's so much. Stitch for Pride. A lot of you joined the team. So congratulations, welcome. If you got into, I guess I'll call it my amnesty week, where I opened up Stitch for Pride 2024 signups. A lot of people signed up. Oh my gosh, welcome. If you didn't get to, you're going to have FOMO. You probably have FOMO right now. And I guess that means you'll have to sign up for 2025. But so many people signed up. I'm so excited. I'm seeing starting up. There are people who are starting up with Keith Haring. The color choices, the floss choices, the combo of floss and fabric are blowing my mind. I've seen people do multicolor motifs. I love it. I love when people put in more than one color. I've seen, I believe maybe it was Allie, had a black fabric with very pastel-y floss. That's fantastic, and that's actually inspiration for what I want to do next year. Y'all are killing it. So let me, y'all are killing it, and then I was like, I kind of want to change up my floss and fabric too. I'm not going to stitch this again, but I think y'all's look better than even what I have envisioned, so kudos for that. Let's talk about July's. Like, what month is it? I can't believe I've already stitched August. And you know what? If you see a sneak peek of August, I'm not going to fold this up so you don't see it. Don't. If you see something, don't say something, I guess. Okay, here we go. Boop. This right here. There we are. That's so nice. Right next to Frida is Jeffery Gibson. Right here. And Jeffery Gibson is a indigenous contemporary artist. He does beadwork and fabric work and textiles. His work is amazing in person. And I took inspiration from his very geometric lettering and his sayings and especially his work with textiles and beadwork to create this motif. If you can see the secret message, awesome. The secret message says, "Time will tell," which I think a lot of us maybe feel that, where we know things are happening in the future and we're not sure if the outcomes will be positive or negative. So we have this kind of sinking or happy feeling in the pit of your stomach of future events happening and you're not sure which way it will go. I have sure had that. Currently, in the past, in the present, in the future. I will have that forever. That feeling of, I know something's going to happen in the future, but I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. So time will tell is my feelings put in that Jeffery Gibson motif. So I hope you connected with that. A lot of us will. And there's a sneak peek of August. Shh. I can't believe I'm already stitching August. And in fact, I'm already planning for September too. Like September is going to go up by, up at the top. And I'm already planning it, and that's the school year, and where did the summer go? It's not even Vancouver Pride yet. Why am I stitching things that are going to come up in the fall? Anyway, that's Jeffery Gibson. I am so happy people are enjoying it so much. I really, really want to thank everyone who signed on and find value in it. I will have a 2025 stitch along for sure. It will be very similar in terms of motifs. The theme will be different. My plan, since y'all have been so good about this, let me just tell you my plans. Why not? You and me. My plan is to do a historic sampler based on historic figures in trans history. Now, this is what I'm feeling. It may change. But I want to go back to the very, 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 very beginning of trans history because we've had a very long history. Trans people have been around since humanity began. So that's my plan. We'll see how that translates if I can take 12 figures from our very long history and translate it into motifs. Artists, I have an easier time because I can look at their art and find inspiration in the colors, in the iconography, in the message, taking historic figures and translating that into motifs might be a little difficult. I don't know. I haven't tried yet, but that's my plan. This is also going to be in an art show coming up. Oh, you know what? Y'all are so good. I'm just going to show you. Ooh, who's that? Who's that August motif? I guess we'll find out later. Okay, so thank you. If you got into Stitch for Pride, thank you. If you bought into Stitch for Pride and you're not going to stitch it, thank you. Your contributions have allowed me to make a life-changing wish become reality. Okay, that's Stitch for Pride. I finished that. I also finished, wow! I started and finished this little motif, this little pattern. This is, hold on, I put the spelling, Cordillera. Sometimes words are hard. This is Cordillera by Pigeon Coop Designs, Max. Max is a Canadian who is living in Ontario and Lake Country now. And if you haven't seen, Max is actually putting out a cross-stitch book very, very soon. Support, number one, support Canadian artists. Number two, support male cross-stitchers. There's not a lot of them out there, but Max is doing it great. Let's see if I can get those. This lighting is there we go. My next thing is to buy an actual light for this. This is Cordillera by Pigeon Coop Designs. This is on, it's kind of, maybe if I back up a little bit. This is on one of those DMC 14 count things you get at your local Michael's, and it's like slightly dyed. So I went out, I bought it because I thought, oh, then I don't have to dye more fabric myself. I don't have a lot of 14 count. I usually use 14 count when I do my stuffed animals, my cross-stitch stuffed animals. And this is a piece that is going to be turned into a stuffed animal. And I thought, okay, I'll buy the pre-dyed fabric. That way I don't have to dye it. I look at it. If you've seen that DMC pre-dye stuff, it is very light. It's very delicate. And I'm not a delicate person. So I stitched a little and I thought it looks too white. It looks too white. So I threw some more dye on it and it's a little darker. I stitched, so it's 14 count. I think it's 3 threads I used, so it's nice and poofy. Here we are. I love the little barbs. Ooh, we're having a hard time focusing. Really nice coverage. Love it. Cute. Cutie patooties. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that whenever a friend, companion, relation has a baby, I like to make a cross-stitch stuffy. So I stitch something and then I make it into a stuffed animal. Are the stuffed animals great? No, I'm not a sewer, but you know, it's the heart that counts. I have a lot of examples on my Instagram, and you'll probably see one if you've been watching my Flosstube for a while. So these parents, they just had a baby not too long ago, and they are hikers, they are outdoors people, and they just finished a year living in a van, traveling all over the United States and Canada. A dream. A stinky dream, but a dream. So I decided, and if you saw my reel, you might see which fabric that I chose. So this is the fabric that I am going to make the stuffy with. I believe it's going to be a bear, a big fat bear with the cross stitch in the tummy. The print is really big, which is tough for a stuffed animal, but I think, whatever. This is on sale. The colors are perfect. The sun is this perfect pink and this kind of perfect orange. So it went really well, complementary with the cross stitch. Here, let me show you. I went to our local quilters fabric store. Here. Yeah, see. So cute. Love it. I went to our local fabric store that's small, like a local fabric store, not like a big chain like Michael's has fabric and we have Fabricland. This fabric store is called Fabricana. Oh, it is a quilter's paradise because they have so many patterns. And they have a lot of young queer people working there. And they order very they have a certain aesthetic where they order very specific types of fabric, and it connects to me, an elder millennial, of these patterns. So every time I go in there, I find something fun and like vibrant. So having stuff like this is very millennial. They also have quilters working there, and like who have been working there for 25, 30 years. And I'm fussing with the pattern in my hand, and I'm like putting it to all of these fabrics. And there's an older lady with all of her like quilting badges and stuff on her apron, and she asked if I need help. And I showed her this, and I said I need to find a complementary fabric, and she says, "Don't worry, I got you." And then she just said this. It's like perfect. I said I'm making a cross stitch stuffy. The parents are campers. They like the outdoors, and she just pulls this out. Quilters are magic. If you're a quilter, tell me your complimentary ways. I need to know. So I bought. Did I need a meter of this? No, but I love this fabric so much that I needed to appreciate it. So after I have made the stuffy out of it, I have more fabric. It always comes in handy. More fabric always comes in handy. Quilters know, right? So look for me making that very soon. I will be posting on Instagram my process, and I'll make a reel, and I'll also, once I make it, before I give it to Bebe and parents, I will post a little video so you can see it. Will it be wonky? Yes. Will it have like many holes in it? Probably. And I cannot recommend Max's patterns enough. Pigeon Coop Designs. The pattern I think I stitched in 3 days. Now I was pretty much on the couch for a very long time post-surgery, so I did have a lot of time. But I put on the Tour de France, and I think it was about 3 or 4 days that I just finished it up. Not a lot of color changes, a lot of patterns, so it's very soothing. Max's book Gosh, I might have to get. I'm promoting Max, so I might have to get it. I'll link it down below because I want to promote a male cross stitcher and male designer because like legit. Sorry, someone's texting me. Who's texting me? I don't know. No one. No, not important. So those are our 2 finishes. Congratulations, me. I also had 2 starts. 2 starts that were pretty. 1 start that was pretty meaningful. 1 start that was just like luxurious. Because you know me, I'm luxurious. Let's talk. Oh, okay. So, June 26th, I went down to the States for a gender-affirming surgery. And this is a monumental moment in my life. I kept looking at my partner, and we kept saying, are we really doing this? Is this really happening? And also, afterwards, it was the constant, I can't believe I've done this. But I'll talk about it. I'll talk about that in the process after I finish cross-stitch business. But I wanted to start something to commemorate the surgery. So on June 26th, I started Hemlock on Rise, Thirza Goes Goth. And I was going to start, there's many different versions of Thirza. But I decided the Goth one because I like the colors, because what's more goth than cutting off 2 pounds of your body? My tits were 2 pounds. I thought they'd be bigger. So I started Thirza. First of all, gosh, look at these flosses. Maybe this is number 1 reason why I decided to go with Thirza Goes Goth instead of the other types. I actually had wanted originally when this came out to do the original sampler, the softer color version, but this is so wild. Cross stitch gone wild. If samplers had to do a wet t-shirt contest, Thirza would be up there. Tell me I'm wrong. Girls' nips would be out there. Hot Thirza summer. This is wild. Have you ever seen one of those colors in a sampler? No, thank you. I am doing this on, boy, do you remember way back when, and I bought like 3 meters of, I think someone called it fiddler cloth. It's what people do needlepoint on, or it's like really old-fashioned Ada, basically. I bought 3 meters of it from a thrift store, and it smelled like pee. And it was so dirty, and I dyed it 17 times because I was just experimenting. I used some of that because it's weird, it's wonderful, and I think it looks very similar to, you know, when you go into a thrift store and you find an old sampler. A lot of it is on fiddler cloth, so I wanted to, I don't know, I thought it suited it. So this is what I have. I started in the middle. I started in the middle and I went all the way to the border. Look at that neon bird. What? You would never. Also, this little alien lady is like haunting. The gray. See, it still kind of smells. I think it smells like bleach though, because I bleached it. That little alien lady, kind of spooky. Are we making a haunted sampler? Maybe. So it's, I think I counted it. It's 2 strands. It is like 15 count. Like it's something weird like that. But that's because I dyed it 17 times and bleached it and put it in the dryer and washed it and tried to get all the piss out of it. If anyone needs some fiddler cloth, I'm swimming in it. So that's Thirza. I started that on my surgery day, and I did about a week on it, off and on. She'll come back. So that was a new start. And then what else was a new start? Ooh! Is it in here? Oh, gosh. Marjorie I believe Instagram is Marjorie Makes. The mother of Pick a Whip said, hey, stitch on something with a bug on it. And I'm like, I have one with a bug on it, but I had just, worked on it. So why not use this as an excuse to stitch something that I have wanted since it came out. And this is StitchSprout. You know them and love them. This is White Blossom Cicada. Cicada. You say cicada, I say cicada. I wish StitchSprout had a bigger picture, because the pictures just blows my mind. I love Cicada. I got to go see a bunch when I went to Australia, and we had to go to the bathroom outside and in the middle of the night, and there were 3 different types of cicada all screaming, and when you go outside to go to the bathroom, they're all just smashing their little bodies against you, and you feel like they're bats hitting your hair, and it's traumatic, but you respect them because all they want to do is scream and fucking die. And isn't that the dream, actually? These are the flosses, very delicate. I am doing this on a 40 count piece of linen that I dyed myself. It was like perfect. This is what I have so far. It's 1 strand, so it's very, as I said, delicate. Oh, look at her. So cute. So precious. So precious. My goal since the beginning, the reason why I use such a big piece is it will be maybe a bag, and I am going to be putting in like very, very fancy fonts, scream, fuck, die, because that's what you should want in a life. You come out from your sleep screaming, you screw a couple times until you're real tired, and then you die. Bless. I put in a couple days work, but you know what? I'm a busy boy. Cicada will come out maybe another time. Maybe when I need to stitch a bug. Very soothing. Stitching on 40 count. Stitching on 14 count for the... Hold on, I gotta look at the pronunciation. Cordillera. The Pigeon Coop design. Stitching 3 strands on 14 count and then going to that, it's like a different art form. Like it's like a different craft altogether. There's something about 1 strand stitching that I really like. How the stitches lay in that. Not that I don't like 14 count Ada, because sometimes it feels good to go back to 14 count Ada. But love it. Okay, those are my 2 new starts. Let's go through whips. I've got too many of them. There's needles dropping on the floor. So good luck for that. Me, I guess, in the future. This was a pick a whip thing that I asked people to pick a whip for me, and I gave them 4 choices, and this ran away with it. This is Deefiant by Marroomy Crafts, Marroomy Designs. And I assume people picked this because this was a pattern that Miriam designed for me. I love it. I love it not just because it's about me, but because the colors are very me. the very nice jewel tones. I also picked these two. This is Floss dyed by the Sewing Shop's Kaylee, and I love it very much. This I put in the border, as you will see, and I just worked a little bit of the border. This is, let's see, what kind of fabric did we have? It's, 36 count Butter Crunch by Needle Bling Designs. I love the yellow, grungy yellow. It's great. This is 2 strands because I'm making it nice and poofy. I want you to see the yellow, but it's not going to do it. Well, look at the stitches. Look at the border. Look at, there we are. There we are. Look at the border. Look at the colors. There we go. Gorgeous. Love it. Yes. Perfect. Love it. I am a person who needs their pieces very full, and Deefiant has a lot of negative space, has a lot of empty space. So I was fooling around with maybe doing some black work behind the hawk. I don't know if any of Miriam's designs already have some black work. I'll have to look. I know she has a lot of bands, but maybe some black work, because why not? Because I'm worth it. Because if I can take longer on a project, why wouldn't I? That's Deefiant. I also spent some time on my tiny little friend, Hannah Harding from Queenstown Designs. Let me show you her. Here she is. Old school with the photo and everything. This one was I started this because I started HRT so long ago. I finished this spot and I'm moving all the way down because I'm kind of going around. I'm going to change this quote, so I'm avoiding it for the time being. This is on a Cedar River linen. This is Albarium, 40 count. I started this not knowing that the entire piece is over 1, even though I had the pattern and I looked at it. It didn't get into my big himbo brain that the little tiny X's, the little tiny boxes means that it's all over 1. So, but doing over 1 on 40 count means you can just do a 10 stitch, which means it takes half as long as if I were to do it on, say, a 32 count. Because then on a 32 count, I would be making full X's. But on this, I just have to make a 10 stitch. I finished one of the butterfly wings, and I worked on a little bit on the border, which was a treat after doing over 1. I'm sorry, it's so dark, folks. I don't know what to do. This lamp is... I bought this lamp. I have to show you. I bought this lamp. It's a Joe Boxer lamp. And I bought this lamp probably in 1999. I'll have to show it to you. So the butterfly, look at those tiny little stitches. Oh, the little stitches for your little needle. It goes fast. It goes faster. It just takes a really good light. I tried a magnifier, but the magnifier I have attached to my little Lowry stand, it bounces. I guess I'm really aggressive with my needling. Yeah, if you know what I mean. But it bounces, so it kind of makes me a little nauseous. I have to take my glasses off when I do it too. So the light tends to be okay. I have like one day of eye pain, and then my eye pain is okay afterwards, so I don't know what that means. Okay, you want to see my really old lamp? Hold on. Oh, hold on. I'm going to take you out of it. Excuse me. Ooh. This is my Joe Boxer lamp that I bought in 1999 at, like, when Target first opened. Like, or when the Target was open in my city. And it lives there, and it's providing me mediocre light. So all of the stitching you see is really dark. You know. Okay, so that's Hannah Harding. I have a couple that I took down with me to Seattle, not only for surgery, but for my post-op. This is Khadir, by the Therese Initiative, who is posting Tetris motifs. I was able to finish him, and I'm starting doing a little bit of the horse. This is a 25 count, so I'm doing it over 1. Is it hard to do in the car? Yes. Is it hard to do in the car when you're going south on I-5? Yeah. I-5 is not known to be smooth. So I didn't get much done, but I got a few bits in. Ow. Burp. Sorry. Boob twinge. So that was tough. And I'm like, I'm going to need a better car project. So what do I do? You know, you would think I would get like a 28 count or even a 32 count. No. This is Queen Zenobia's Garden by Ancient Sage Designs. This is 2 strands. This is one of those Fabric of the Month's Fiberlicious. I couldn't tell you what the name is, but it was like the once off Fabric of the Month. You know, doing again 36 count. Like, that's in the car. I love this though. It's easy in that I don't even need a pattern anymore. I'm just counting based on this, so it's nice to do in the car. I want to finish it into a biscornu. The pattern has it done on white, and the white is this color blue, so I just decided to switch it up. Again, I need better car projects. There we are. I need a 14 count. I need an Ada. At least, at minimum, I need to have an Ada. I don't have a lot of Ada projects, but I need a small Ada project. Someone's got to pick a whip. Someone's got to tell me off. So those were my car projects, my post-hospital projects. When I came back, I had a lot of time on my hands. So, you know, when I have a lot of time on my hands, I thought, okay, I am going to do a project where I need a lot of work done. And this is the Grand Vierlanden. It is the Quiltify Designs 2001 Stitch Along. That is giant. And the thing with this is every time I take it out, I'm like, okay, we're going to put some good work into it. This time, we're going to get it. We're going to do it. We're going to get it done. I set goals for myself. I say, you're going to get a page finish. This year, every year, 1 page finish per year. There is so much stitching per page. So I thought, okay, you can make it down to the bottom for the year. That will be your goal. And I look at how big this is and how many motifs this is, and I start off very confident, and then I end not so confident, and I think, do I even like these colors? And I'm stitching on 36 count. Do I want it? And I'm stitching with 2 threads. Is this something I really want to do? Well, folks, so I've done, check it out. Hold on, let me stand up. Oh! Okay, so, oh boy, goodness gracious. that's the length. And it's so big. And then, so I'm making my way downtown. I finished these two motifs. The first one on the top that you see, I did pretty good. I finished it, pretty quickly. And then I hit the birds. And the birds I frogged 3 times. And I can't even blame painkillers because I wasn't on many of them. I was on Tylenol. And I thought, you know what? I am stuck on the couch. Medically, I have to stay put, even though I'm a busy bee and I want to exercise and I want to do this, and that. I got to stay put for my health. So I'm going to just stitch all day. And I'll finish and my goal is to go all the way to the bottom just so I can see how big it is and then come up with a plan afterwards. I made it 1.5 motifs until she had to go away. I think once I finish the bottom and I'll be able to cut the rest off, maybe it will feel more manageable. This is like when I have a mediocre relationship and everyone's like, girl, break up with him. Or maybe I don't want you to tell me to break up with him. And I mean girl in the gay way. The motifs are just amazing. I love stitching like this. But even my computer is screaming at me. Leave him. It's so slow. Is it because it's 36 count? Probably, with 2 threads, probably, and I have 3 colors instead of 1 or 2, probably. These are all my choices. These are all the choices I made. What would you do? I don't think I could change the colors midway. I'm not starting over. I don't really want to abandon it. What would you do? Maybe I should just make it to the bottom. See how I feel. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. I was excited to take this out, and then just the frogging made my life very sad. Because I thought this is the day. I'm going to make it to the bottom. Because I have nothing else to do with my life other than just sit on the couch and then do my physio and then maybe eat and then sit on the couch and do some stitching. And I don't have anything to do. So why not make it to the bottom? And then embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Sampler September can't come soon enough. But I'm looking at how many samplers I have. And I have to work in September. Wow. Do you all have an antagonistic relationship with one of your whips? Do you have an abusive relationship with one of your whips? Because that's what I feel like I have currently. But you know what? Give me a month. Give me September. I'll be like, oh, I can't wait to get back to this. I even have the big Q snap for it. Okay. Who's next? Yes. Okay. Because this is a homage to gender affirming surgeries, and because I need to finish this by spring of 2025, I put in some more time with Know Thyself. And I lost my needle. Good luck. This is on a 36 count, just regular black Zweigart. And two threads, so it's nice and the coverage is nice with the black. I am really wanting to stitch this for, I'm part of a trans art show coming up next year, and this is going to be my kind of headliner piece, so I really want to finish it. It is quick. This is something that I designed to fundraise for my top surgery. A lot of you picked it up. It seems very big. It's bigger than I usually design, but it goes very quickly. There's a couple of people stitching it, and I thank you for people who are stitching it. I am editing it as I stitch it. I did change this arch, not substantially. Like it's not. If you bought the pattern is fine. It's just my own things that I need to work out in my head. I am going to, once this is stitched, I am going to re-release this pattern, and it's going to be, like, you'll have to pay for it. The other one, it was a, like, donate, like, you could choose how much, but after I finish actually working it out, it's going to be put back up on my Ko-fi. I love the colors. It is reminiscent of a stained glass window, if I do say so myself. But yeah, I didn't put in much time, and it zoomed along. We've been watching in Bridgerton. I've been working on this. I like Bridgerton in that it is so unlike anything we watch, and I just feel like two catty sleepover gals, like me and my partner. I just like, ooh, girl, really? Like, you're into him? And it brings out the inner, like, the inner femme I have deep inside me. So, yeah, we've been working on that. Goodness gracious, that is all my whips. Can I show you the things that I have been given? One sec. Okay, I had to get the stuff that was upstairs. I had some nice stitchy kindness from two of my friends who are like the most generous people of all time. Here, hold on. Look at me, not my table. Though I did clean my table. Aren't you proud of me? I got a sweet, I think the day I came back from surgery, I got a very sweet little package in the mail from Lizzie. I think the handle is this Miss Fisher Stitches? Stitches? Lizzie. We know Lizzie. Lizzie sent my favorite little gay criminal goose and the most D book ever. Crafted with Pride, Queer Craft Activism in Contemporary Britain. It is an academic paper. Oh, yes. With lots of pictures. Dykes for trans rights. You kidding me? Hell yeah. And lots of interviews. Lots of examples throughout history. This is just so up my alley, and this definitely will help me with research for upcoming Stitch for Prides. Hey, check this out. Dang. Love it. Oh man, knitted packers. I love this stuff. I love visual histories of how craft and gender and sexuality intersect, because craft is protest and craft are very rooted together, and anyone who says differently don't know their own history, and especially queer and trans and gay and lesbian craft as a form of rebellion. Fantastic. So I've already started. Haven't dog-eared this copy, but I have sticky notes in it. Um, so I'm very excited to finish it up, and it will definitely help me with Stitch for Prides coming forward. So that was Lizzie. And then I got another big box. And this box is from Jennifer, your friend of mine, the Curly Stitcher, who is a darling. And a lot of this stuff isn't from her. It's just stuff that oh God. It's just fabric that I have everywhere. Ugh. And stuff I needed to clean up and bring downstairs. Okay. Let me show you. These are also, no, that's from, so Jennifer sent me, it's from, it looks like all from one artist. Here, let me take everything out. Oh gosh, goodness. Okay. This is this. I think I took stuff out. Yes. Cute bag. It looks like it's all from one artist, and also, wait, what's this? Hold on. What's in here? Do I remember? I was on a lot of drugs when I opened this stuff first. What's in here? Okay. Okay. Jennifer. So, I think Jennifer told me about this book a while back. Poems and Affirmations in Celebration of Trans Life. And more stickers. I started reading this, and I have a hard time sometimes with trans pain or trans hardships. There's a lot of hardships and a lot of pains, and after surgery, after any big surgery, people tend to go through like depressive moments or moments of anxiety. And so I started reading this, and I just I can't, too many feelings for me. I had to also stop HRT, so I had a lot of feelings. I want to finish this when I'm more balanced. It is trans joy, but there's also trans hardships in it. But once I'm done, I want to pass it along to any other trans person who might need a little bit more affirmations in their lives, both good and hard. So, thank you, Jennifer. I just don't want to feel feelings. Holy jumping. Okay. I know this. This is from Transfigure. I have this t-shirt. Okay. Dang. This is from the Crafty Queer in Texas. Hey. Check out these boys. Ah! This one's mine. I didn't even notice that the first time I opened it. Goodness gracious. And I have lots of very nice stickers. We're going to put these on water bottles. My little guy. This is the most. This is me. Howdy. And a beautiful, very nice note. Trans is beautiful, but man, after surgery. Trans is also sometimes Frankenstein. I'll tell you about it later, but sometimes we ain't beautiful. Sometimes we're a mess. And then I got, okay, check this out. I got this artist. This is from Charlie Burgess. I've seen their art before. and tarot cards and stickers that go along with it. I have one tarot deck. Oh, shoot! And postcards. You know I love postcards. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. What's this one? First Pride was a riot. Oh look. Is that Stormy? Stormy and Marcia on it. The texture of these are wild. Justice. Very cute. That's a was it non-binary flag? I'm just looking. I'm looking through these for the first time with you. I have a tarot, and I am not. I used to use tarot as part of like a reflection process, I guess. I have a set, and it is old, like old-timey cartoony, and I was always told you never buy your own tarot sets. You're given tarot sets. So my tarot set, I wanted a tarot set, but I never wanted to buy it. So I was given this. It's like old, like Betty Boop style art, cartoony art. I really liked it, and it helped me like when I was quitting my job or going through the HRT process or going through the gender healthcare loops. When I was feeling my anxiety kind of move up, I pulled a card and I read the description, and then I kind of was able to reflect on what it was pointing to, just kind of taking a moment to think. And that's how I use tarot. I don't know how you actually do it, but that's how I used it. So now that I have this new deck, maybe I need to get, ooh, they feel good. Look at that. Oh, they smell. They smell not bad, right? Those are gorgeous. And so they have, oh, that's very nice. This is for someone like me. They have what keywords they have. And then also Jennifer gave me the book as well, which is very handy for me. Should we pull one? Actually, well, I like to like shuffle it. I like to like feel the cards. Maybe I don't feel like pulling. Let's not pull yet. Maybe I'll pull next time. But the cards are really pretty. The colors are very nice. That's just the same. Ooh. Ah! It's me! Also me. Love the beard. Also me. I like that it is very reminiscent of like old medieval art. Dope. Hell yeah. Oh, that guy even has top surgery scars. Very cool. I'm very sorry. I got to go through this, but I never opened anything because I wanted to go through it with y'all, and now I'm like processing. Jennifer, thank you so much. Maybe I'll give away my old deck of tarot on Snail Mail Club. If anyone wants a tarot deck. Maybe the person who wins, if you want a tarot deck, let me know. And then I'm definitely going to be sending out these postcards. Definitely. And if you are a person, after I'm done reading, and you want to pass, I'll pass that along. Let me know. Okay. I think, there's so much time. So I'm done with the cross-stitching. I am going to pick a Snail Mail Club winner at the end. Remember, if you want to be part of my Snail Mail Club, you have to put your name and information in my Google form down below. You have to be over 18. I will send it anywhere, and all you have to do is leave a comment. So if you do want to do that, do it. I'm going to pick a winner at the end of the video. I'll probably send them either, if they want the tarot deck that I have upstairs, I'll probably send them that, or I have a lot of fabric that I need to get rid of, so maybe I'll send you some fabric. We'll see. Anything in my little box. I have some stuff from Rome. I have some stuff from my travels, so we'll see what I send you. But you can skip ahead and figure out who the winner is, or you can hang around. I want to talk to you about my top surgery process. If you're not interested, that's fine. No skin off my nose. I did have 2 tits off though. Okay. Ooh. First of all, I have to say I am very privileged in the fact that I had a lot of people support me in going down to the United States over a border and having to pay out of pocket for surgery. I'm very privileged to be able to do that. Not everyone can do that. And it makes me feel weird that I have that privilege to do that. In Canada, I mentioned this before, because I live outside of Transcare BC borders, I would have to wait 11 months for a Transcare BC doctor and then another 11 months or so for a surgeon. And the surgeons are largely plastic surgeons who maybe aren't very good sometimes with bigger bodies. So because I talked about this in a prior Flosstube, my doctor made a big error and I got rejected from Transcare BC, but my doctor never told me I was rejected, so I thought I was on the wait list for months. When I called in to see where I was on the wait list, they said, "Oh, you got rejected, and sorry, you're gonna have to wait another 11 months." And I realized, I was slowly counting, and I realized, number one, if I waited in this line to get top surgery, after thinking I was on the wait list for months, my first thought was I was not going to make it. To be real with you, I don't think I would have been able to make it. Number two, I realized that if I did wait in the line, I would be getting top surgery in my 40s. And that contributed to the fact that I felt like I couldn't make it. Also, I have a fear, and a lot of trans people do, about upcoming elections. We have an election in Canada in 2025, and it is looking like we may be turning conservative, and the conservative leader is not a fan of trans healthcare for anyone. So all of these factors contributed to me looking down at the States, and the surgeon I picked was a cosmetic surgeon, not a plastic surgeon, and his wait list was quite short. It was for 4 months. 4 months between when I met him and when I had the surgery. I could also choose my surgery date. I could choose it after my vacation in Italy and during the summer, so I could take this time to heal. And it meant that in September I could start working again, instead of waiting up here and then I don't get a choice of when to have surgery, and then I would have to maybe take time off during the school year, and that is detrimental to how I can work. So a lot of factors went down to why going down to the States. The process was not the most painful thing I've done to my body, which is wild. It was a 2-hour surgery, and my partner and I stayed in it's just north of Seattle, stayed in a hotel and then went in at 10 o'clock a.m. and surgery was 2 hours, and I went home that day. It's an outpatient surgery anyway, and I was a little loopy, but we made it over the border. I had a doctor's note, so They didn't think my partner was like kidnapping me. In terms of pain, minimal. And it was wild because I was expecting a lot more pain because they gave me pretty heavy drugs. But I think I used my heavy painkillers maybe that night just to sleep. And then the rest of the time I was on Tylenol. So again, not the most painful thing I've done to my body. I've had my back thrown out. That is more painful than what happened. The worst part was having to sleep in a lazy boy, and then my back did get thrown out because you have to be up for drainage reasons. I had a double incision with free nipple graft, so they had to cut my nipple and pop it back on. I asked for, because I'm a bigger person, I asked for them to keep a lot of the fat and kind of mold it like it would be more natural. I know a lot of surgeons just take everything, but the surgeon, I was able to show pictures, and I asked for like a certain size nipple, and he did it. It's great. I'm very happy with the results. The one thing I guess I would say for people who are going through top surgery, and I know a lot of people are in the community very recently, and also people who support people who are going through these types of surgery. Like I mentioned before, any type of surgery, afterwards there is a higher chance that these people go through depression. And I definitely hit that. I hit that the first week. And I think what happened is you look at your body and you can't shower, or in my case, I needed my partner to shower me, and it was like a spray down, right? Pretty, you kind of feel like an animal doing it. I had Penrose drains, so just little straws, and I had nipple bolsters that are basically stitched to your chest. And you know, my stitches are raw and everything's liquidy and puffy, and you got juices all over, and and you look down and you're like, oh, well, I don't feel good about this. And it's very hard because, and I'm going to be very real, every trans person you talk to with top surgery says how amazing it is and how life-changing it is. And I am one of those people. Like, how I feel now is, and how I look at my own body is, it's incredible. But no one told me that there will be moments where you'll be, you'll feel bad about your body, because again, literally you're stapled together and you have tubes sticking out of you, and your nipples are stitched on and connected to your chest. It's okay to feel bad. That's normal. Like, depression is part of big surgeries, right? Your body went through a big trauma, and it's normal to look at your body and say, oh no. But me, I thought, I've heard everyone say that this was life-changing, it was the best moment of their lives, and I look down and I feel like a freak. I made a mistake. And that was a very real feeling that I had, I would say 3 days in, after I took I was able to take the binder off, and I look down and I see tubes and stitches and everything. Again, a couple stuff contributed to that. Number one, I was off HRT for a month, and so anxiety and big feelings came back because my testosterone was lower. Number two, it's normal to have depression and anxiety after surgery. And number three, I didn't have a lot of trans people tell me about it. And then when I talked to my friends, my trans friends, about it, they're like, oh yeah, that definitely happened to me. We kind of likened it to birth and pregnancy. I am not someone who gave birth or will ever be pregnant because I had the surgery, so I didn't. But I can imagine it's, when you're pregnant and you feel awful about your body, and birthing is one of the most painful processes a person can go through, and it's gross and icky, and afterwards you feel gross and icky. But then after you have this kid, a lot of people are like, oh, this is the greatest thing that I ever did. Look, I made a kid. But then they forget about how bad they felt, and they're only vocalizing how amazing having a kid is. This is very similar to that, where right now I feel wonderful, and I'm only 3 weeks out, 3 weeks after surgery. I'm still a little liquidy. My skin's a little puckered, right? So it's still, but every day I feel the changes, and my nipples are looking great. And I have great mobility. I think because the doctor left the fat in the fascia, so I have great mobility. You do the lift my arms up, as long as I'm supporting things. I have great mobility, and I feel great about my body. I feel great putting on a t-shirt, but it was that first week where it was a panic of, oh no, I made a mistake, because I don't feel as good as everyone said I would feel. So I guess my advice is, if you are a trans person or any person who is going through a gender affirming surgery, a big one, I know a lot of my trans women, my friends who went through bottom surgery, had the same thing. So if you are a person going through a gender affirming surgery, know that depression and anxiety afterwards is perfectly normal, and it's okay. You are going to maybe feel like a Cronenberg nightmare for a week or 3 days, but it gets better. Your body will heal. So just be aware of that. The only people who told me to prepare was my surgeon, and I'm glad that he wrote that down, because I was like, okay, this is normal. And then after starting HRT back up, I feel much more balanced. But yeah, so you can kind of see. So I'm wearing, first of all, appreciate this t-shirt. Second of all, appreciate so I got little pecs, little titties. I still say titties. Everyone has a set of titties, right? I use silicone tape to cover everything, to keep things nice, I'm gonna keep touching myself. I didn't realize. I looked at the camera. I was like, oh no, oh boy. Once everything is healed up, if you want to see the titties and you donated, let me know and I'll flash you. I definitely will do. Right now, everything's a little bit liquidy. I'm 3 weeks, but after 4 weeks, I'll start flashing people. My nipples look great, by the way. This one does. This one's still a little rancid. We're healing. We're sloughing off skin and we're healing. But if you donated and you want a tip pic, slide into my DMs. I got you. Because I have bought so many see-through shirts. It's going to be a problem. So many I don't want to wear anything that's not a tight t-shirt or that you can't see through, folks. Anyway, that's my journey. That's my advice. I'll keep you posted on how Pride goes. August, first weekend of August is Vancouver Pride, and it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. Okay, that's my story. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. I'm an open book. And again, I want those titty pics. And if you donated to get this, I will give you as many tit pics as you want. Let's do Snail Mail Club. I'm going to pick someone who commented last episode, and they're going to get something. What? I don't know. You can tell me. Oh, I have an ad. So again, if you want to get a piece of mail from me, you have to fill out the form, the Google form down below. You have to be over 18, and you have to leave a comment. And I've got Shajam Travels. I think Sharon? Is it Sharon? I have you. I found you. Shannon. not Sharon, Shannon, if you know what you want from me, if you want a tarot deck, I can give you a tarot deck. If you want some fabric, or if you want to just say surprise me, whatever, I'll give you a little box surprise. Thank you very much. Okay. Ooh, I'm out of focus. There I am. I'll see you in August. I'll see you after Pride. It's going to be wild. Until then, thank you everyone for your support and your love, and everything I do it for you. I'm so proud of you. Your Stitch Dad loves you. I'll see you in August, eh? Bye.